Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, الذي ألف بالإسلام بين قلوب المؤمنين وأوجب الاتحاد وحرم التفرقة في كتابه المبين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله هدى من يشاء إلى صراط المستقيم وأشهد أن سيدنا محمد رسول الله خير داع إلى طريق القويم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه الذين تحببت نفوسهم وتحبت قلوبهم فكانوا سادة المنصورين. أما بعد، فيا عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي أولا بتقوى الله تعالى وطاعته. That is, all praise is due to Allah, who has united the hearts of the believer in Islam and has made it an obligation to remain united and has made it forbidden to become separated in his clear book. I bear witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, who guides to the straight path whom he wills. And I bear witness that our leader Muhammad is his messenger and the best caller to the way that is straight. O Allah, send your prayers and your peace upon our leader Muhammad and upon his family and upon his companions, whose hearts were united and whose souls were educated so that they became victorious leaders. And what follows thereafter, O believers of Allah, I advise you as well as I advise myself to first have the proper regard for Allah and thereafter be obedient to him. Dear believers, I greet you with the universal greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be with you. Today we're going to look at the attribute of Allah of Al-Qahhar. Al-Qahhar, which means the ever dominating one, means the one that dominates over everything. And Allah says over and over again in the Quran how he has dominion, he has control over the heavens and the earth. And he says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, it is he who has dominion over the heavens and the earth. He gives life and he takes it. Except for him, you have no protectors. So this makes us consider, dear believers, that we may feel that we have some form of control. We may have some kind of a span of influence over the things that we do, the way we interact with people. But Allah is telling us that he has dominions over the heavens and the earth, which means he has control over our time. He has control over our ability to exist, both in this life and in the next life. The determination or the dominion, the domination over anything that is to happen to his creation. So with most things, most ways that these attributes of Allah, they are set out, or they acknowledge Allah's greatness, Allah's stature, and so we can reference that and look at ourselves, look internally to ourselves and become humble. We become humble. We become humbled by the majesty, by the greatness of our Creator, the ever dominating one. You know, when we take and look at this at a basic human level, some of us have children, and there are things that we want our children to do. There are things that we ask them to do. There are things that we stress, and sometimes over aggressively, we stress for them to do. And sometimes they listen. So when they listen, we're like, oh, look at that. My kid is raised well. I taught my kid well. They listen to me. I have control over their behavior. I have control over the things that they do because they listen to me. I'm such a great parent. I can dominate them. I have a dominating presence in my home. My family listens. But sometimes they don't listen. And so some may decide to give them a spanking. Some may decide to talk to them a certain way, and they may listen. Immediately after that, they may change their behavior in the short term. And so you feel a little more proud. You're like, yes, well, they listening to me now. Look at them. I tell them to sit down, they sit down. I tell them to stand up, they stand up. I tell them to don't go here, don't watch this, don't do these things. They're listening to me now. I have domination. I'm dominating this relationship because I'm the parent. And it's based on, this domination is based on this immediate reaction that you had to them, however you presented that. So they listen. And sure, a week may go by and great, they're listening. A month, they may start getting a little shaky. They may not follow exactly as you said. So now this is starting to wear off. Now your span of influence is starting to wear off. Same way with soldiers. Same way. I've got this rank. Lock it up, you. Go to the position of attention. Go to the position of parade rest. You're getting UCMJ. You're getting this kind of thing. You're getting a counseling statement. And they may change up their act. And I may feel, well, I'm dominating this environment. I'm dominating this relationship because they are responding to what I tell them because I have a certain rank on my chest. I have a certain rank on my head. And so they're looking at me and they're listening. They salute me. They say, sir. They say, ma'am. They say, yes, sergeant. No, sergeant. Yes, drill sergeant. Yes, top. All these different things, all these labels and titles that we've accumulated that give us some level of authority to show that we have dominion over certain things. Allah says he has dominions over the heavens and the earth. And so, yes, we may present ourselves or project ourselves in a certain way, and we may get a response, but that response lasts only as long, most times, as either that stimulus is available or regard is given to you, respect is given to you. So once those two things are gone, once the respect is gone, maybe the memory of what you told them are gone, or the stimulus that you're providing for them to change their behavior is gone, they go back to what they were doing. They go back to behaving the way they were behaving. Your children go back to behaving the way they behave. Your soldiers go back to behaving the way they were behaving previously. So your dominion, your domination, your idea of being in control, it goes away. It's not everlasting. It's not something that goes on and everything depends on it. But Allah says he has dominion over the heavens and earth. Allah decides that the sun and the moon are going to alternate, that the earth is going to rotate around it. He has control over that. We can't control that. Allah has dominion over that. Allah says that he has dominion over the heavens and the earth. So we have to take a look and think about it, dear believers. We have to think about is the control that we believe we have, this idea of control that we believe we have, is it in any way a comparison to our Creator? And if we honestly look at it, and we don't even have to look hard, if we just take an accurate assessment of ourselves and our Creator, we'll see that Allah is Al-Qahhar, the ever dominating. Our domination, or whatever this idea of control that we think we have, is short-lived. And if everybody listened to you, and everybody was to follow everything you said, and maybe you were in a perfect environment, and everybody just always maintained a certain behavior around you, that behavior would only last as long as you breathe, as long as you were there to show your pleasure or displeasure. Allah is Al-Qahhar, the ever dominating. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر لي ولكم والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Dear believers, we're still talking about Allah as Al-Qahhar, the ever dominating. And so Allah says in this verse, he says he gives life and he takes it. And except for him, who is a protector. So who else can protect you from anything except Allah? Some may say, well, I've got an alarm system. The alarm's going to let me know when something's happening. Some will say, well, I've got a gun. I've got this. I've got these things that are going to protect me. Maybe I've got a guard dog. I've got some skills. I've been training. I got these hands. All these things you view that may be your protector. I've got a big house. I've got a big brick house. The wind and the storm is not going to affect me. But only Allah is your protector. It's only Allah's will that is going to keep you safe, that is going to protect you. And he says that he has dominions over the heavens and the earth. So yes, you may have all these things. You may say, well, I have the ability to defend myself in hand-to-hand combat. So if you get paralyzed, now what? Your ability goes away. And only Allah can protect you. I have this big, nice house with strong walls, 11 inches thick, stable. And a tornado comes and blows your house away. I've got a gun. I can protect myself. Your gun jams. And yeah, somebody's going to say, well, I'm going to slap rack, all that stuff. But in that moment, only Allah could protect me. Not all these other things that are in creation that I thought were going to protect me. Only Allah can protect you. He dominates everything. He dominates the time. He dominates experiences. He dominates the weather. He dominates anything that you can comprehend, anything that you can imagine. Allah has dominion. Allah is ever dominating, the all dominating Al-Qahhar. So let's as we go through our life, as we go through our day, as we go through the weeks, as we go through the month, we keep that in mind. And as we are keeping that in mind, we then have to humble ourselves and say that I can't do anything without the protection of Allah. I can't do anything without the consideration of Allah. My family is not safe unless Allah wills it. I am not safe unless Allah wills it. So in maintaining that visibility, or maintaining that idea that this is true, that Allah is ever dominating, we should turn to him in gratitude for protecting us, for protecting our families. We should turn to him in gratitude for giving us the ability to maybe in our own way protect ourselves or our family. Because we can only do that by his will, by his permission, because he has dominion over the heavens and the earth. And we may live our life great. But Allah still is the decider. He has dominion. He dominates over the decision making as to where you're going to go in the next life. So if Allah has this level of control, if Allah is this dominating, then we should turn to him. We should remember him. We should call on him. We should ask for forgiveness. We should do everything that we can to show our appreciation for that. So dear believers, Allah is Al-Qahhar. Allah is the dominating one. Let us not forget that. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.